they could probably make a couple more work if they really wanted to. But like at that point, you've got a fucking like church van, like a full like 9-seat van to move everybody around.
Yeah. Just have
I'm
like
never
a
gonna take
small
a flight now.
articulated bus for all your kids.
I think the perfect minimum number is obviously 2, because a single child is just
You gotta have replacement rates, okay?
Of
Come on.
course, yeah.
well, that's what like, you know, like at that point just adopt as long as you got one bloodline child. I'm
Well,
fine with adopting.
that's fair, but like overall fertility, as far as it goes, like I
I'm
guess
not fertile at all, bro. I'm shooting blanks like a fucking like movie, dude.
Well, how can you tell if you only have sex with men? Like, men can't get pregnant, so.
This is true. This is true. You got a good point.
Hey, that's
You
not
got a good point.
scientifically accurate. I
That is-
watched Neil deGrasse Tyson debunk about men getting
Degrassi?
pregnant. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil needs to go outside and
Neil
suck some
deGrasse
Degrassi.
Tyson
Listen,
chicken.
the only scientists I want to hear about is like NASA astronauts, because at least those guys are like way too smart and they actually do shit with their hands. They're the ultimate pinnacle of white and blue collar, connecting you to one person.
Who walks into the
Oh.
laboratory and unscrews the demon core.
Dude, I have met a significant, or I shouldn't say significant. I've met several astronauts, maybe like 6 or 7 at
They're
this
like
point.
they seem like to be the right amount of like just smart scientifically and like blue collar hands on shit, and be kind of stupid. You know what I mean?
They're all on the fucking spectrum.
Of course they are.
And
Good.
yeah,
inshallah.
like, and they're all like incredibly like just passionate, driven, like very dialed in, focused people. Like, you take that kid that's obsessed with trains and like memorizing the train schedule, and then you get them into like free diving in the ocean, and then you get them a degree in like, you know, electrical
Underwater
engineering.
exploration.
Well, no, they want the engineers, scientists, stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, the perfect background for a NASA astronaut. Like, they've all talked about, because the selection committee for new astronauts is always former astronauts. There's really not a lot of administrative input into it. They're just like, oh, I wish I had. It's like, oh, of the people who've gone to space, what's the like? Ask them like what experience they wish they had before they got into training, et cetera, and stuff like that. So they really want like people who are into like, you need to be into dangerous sports and have like a bachelor's degree in some sort of STEM field, and you're basically good. Like you could be into like mountaineering or ice climbing or something like that. They love that shit.
You got to have survival skills and also
Exactly.
have
They want you to
suicidal ideation, but not real suicidal ideation.
they want you to be like, they want you to have been in situations before where if you make the wrong minor detail, like I tied the wrong knot on this rope and you will die situation, they need you to have that kind of attention to detail. That's what they've all kind of said.
So like
I have no
competitive
ambition of being an astronaut.
competitive catalytic converter stealing.
Honestly,
count?
there's some kids, you know, NASA has a diversity problem.
This is
and
true.
They should be looking for these kids. They're hustling out there getting these catalytic
what are you saying?
converters.
The majority of people who sell catalytic converters are not what are in NASA.
No,
You're
I'm
suggesting? What would that
I'm
demographic
saying
be?
that
What would that demographic be? Please tell me.
I mean, they're looking for the
saying that
platinum and the
they're-
catalytic converter so they can conduct experiments at NASA. Clearly, that's why they need them.
Yeah.
When you say
It's-
diversity, I'm hearing a racial edge to this statement, and I don't like it. I don't know.
We're
Cancel?
talking about increasing diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so who do you assume is stealing catalytic converters?
Well,
Astronauts.
to quote the president, President Biden. Was it President Biden or was it Kamala Harris who said, poor kids are just as smart as white kids?
That was
That's Biden.
That was Biden?
Biden. That was indeed him. I'm gonna not wear shirts right now. I don't care. It's technically episode 100.
It's the 100th episode. Take it off.
How many shirts are you wearing?
Like 3. Oh.
Oh.
Now we're just down to 0.
Oh. Okay. Wait, Cybersmith's asking how to call in.
Oh, yeah.
Are we ready for that?
I'm absolutely ready for that.
Yeah, you know what? We don't need Matt for that part. Let's. What I probably should have took. I'm not gonna put my shirt back on now, but now Cybersmith is gonna be here with my shirt off. Oh no.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, let's have the guy who had actually unironically one of the most intelligent conversations with us on this podcast. That was the guest.
For real, like.
No, that was my favorite part. Like, obviously, like he gets roasted a lot, but Homeboy does actually pull out fucking information. Sometimes it's batshit insane, but listen, you know, a gun jams, but it still fires. You know what I'm saying? Drop a knife enough times, it's gonna hit someone in the shoe. Come enough times to someone's eye, and they're gonna stop seeing out of it. I don't want to make any other rough jokes.
No, keep going. We gotta kill time.
I think I'm gonna kill myself. I have a new lump on my neck. I have one here, and I have another one here, and this one was non-malignant, whatever it means for not a tumor that will kill me of cancer.
Benign.
So this one's benign here. You can't really see it. Oh, maybe you can see it. It's a little dark mark on my neck.
What are you being exposed to?
Not anything worthy of giving me cancer or tumors, quite frankly. Like I work around like engines and shit, but like I've been doing that since I was like 19.
Mm-hmm.
Like cars and machines and shit, but that wouldn't give me cancer this early on. It'd be very unlikely. Like statistically, anything that can give you cancer, you can always do it by like just one random time it happens, like by luck, but usually it doesn't how that works.
Maybe you just built different.
Yeah, maybe I'm just gonna die in like 2 years of like an advanced throat cancer. I'll be like Walter White, but instead I'm gonna start sounding like that one guy from Generation Kill. Who talks like this the whole time?
Oh, Godfather!
Oh, to be fair, my throat has been going the last few days.
Well, I think it's probably been using it for things.
I've been sucking off so many men. Yeah, you're right.
Of course, yes. Yes.
How do you think
you got the monkeypox nodules growing in your
throat? No, I'm built different, bro. No, I don't get that monkeypox. What this is I basically just sucked enough cocks to get a haircut.
Yeah.
You know, get a shave. I'm like the homeless guy from I'm Cricket. I'm like Cricket energy.
Rickety
right now,
Cricket from Always Sunny.
Cricket.
Well, so wait, do we have to wait for Matt to get on to figure out how to do the calls, or
I think
they literally just
all right. Well,
access.
I'm gonna give. Let's see.
Give them access to this room, and then you can force move them over if you have administrative controls.
Do I? Have
I don't know what any of that means.
All right. Just never,
Looks like we're on with Jin. Jin, can you hear us?
Yeah, I think so.
And there's Matt.
Yeah, I'm here, baby. I'm here.
Coming at us left and right.
Jin, welcome. So you have 5 minutes to say whatever unhinged shit you want. So go for it.
Also, I'm assuming we're allowing video because
wait.
If she wants.
If she wants. I was hoping Cybersmith. Well, to be fair, I want Cybersmith video where he's not wearing a shirt. I want to see Cybersmith's fat knockers.
5 minutes is a lot. I don't have a type 5.
You don't need to take up the
but I will say, we should all be able to have abortions until the kid is like 3 years old.
All right.
Okay, fair.
That's fair.
Okay. A lot going on there.
Oh yeah, Ben, this was the girl comment on your selfie about if you think this is good lighting, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't say it was good lighting. I just said it was better lighting.
Oh, okay.
You're so dark. And why don't you?
She's a photographer, so she has to be. She's the biggest hater.
You didn't see the pre-show. I was hoping for Cybersmith to come in here and see me shirtless.
We're still gonna have Cybersmith on.
Yeah, no, I'm like popping a vein as I talk right now. I think I'm like dying.
You know what's funny? The layout doesn't look so bad with 5 people on here.
It actually looks better than what it usually is, but we can't have any more hosts.
We could actually probably get Cybersmith in at the same time if we wanted. Unless we just have like an 18-person grid square in here.
Is this the guy on the bottom Matt's brother?
He's my cousin.
No, that's
which one? Which one? Name? Just say name.
You're the bottom.
Move the mouse.
Yimmer, you're on the bottom.
Move the mouse over, and all the names are there. It was one time in high school. God damn it!
You're the guy at the bottom. Look at the
Yemen's on the bottom.
He's
the
bottom.
A little different. I see two people, and then.
Oh, so okay. You have yours arranged differently.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Just scroll with your mouse, and you'll see all the names.
The guy with a clean shaven face, or a beard?
Is it the guy with no shirt?
My cousin.
Yeah.
It's my cousin. No, just kidding. It's not my cousin.
We might. Well, you know, you call me a lot more than a cousin.
None of us are cousins.
I mean, you guys usually just call each other cousins when you're, so.
Well, that's that Appalachian role. No, we're not related. He's Puerto Rican and I'm Superior, aka Sicilian.
Oh. Okay.
I wouldn't go that far. Let's relax a little bit.
Well, you're not wrong there.
Abortion's up to 3 years. Well, that's the thing, is the abortion after birth is you just giving the child away to somebody else and let it be somebody else's problem.
That's financially aborting them.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Financial abortion. Okay. Because by our anarchy principles, that's what you have to do at that point. Because when the baby's delivered, you sign a contract that you're supposed to take care of it, or you hand it off to somebody else, so it's your financial abortion at that point.
I'm just wondering, in the ANCAP paradise of the future, where we have the system, are kidney prices gonna still be this high?
We're at the point where you can print kidneys out, dog. Like right now, it's a thing that happens or whatever. So
also, I mean, if commies trespass on your property, you can harvest the organs.
Thing and not let her just talk.
Whoa!
Oh, word, yeah, true. All right. Say more and hit shit.
Also, harvest the organs of your cloned twinks from the harem.
According to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons database, administered by the U.S. Department of Justice, 600,000 people go missing annually, which is
annually.
Annually? Annually? Did I really mispronounce that like that?
All right then.
Okay. Which really begs the question: why are kidney prices so high?
Because more people haven't gone missing. That's why.
Yeah, because the people who've gone missing are not going to the people who are taking an organ from them who's going missing probably wasn't even going to a hospital to get with for their medical shit.
In your body, which one is gonna fail the first? Right? It's probably your kidneys.
Kidneys, probably. Yeah.
Fucking heart, honestly. I think I want to die by heart attack. I want to dramatically die, in front of a bunch of people.
For our 100th episode, we're doing a special fundraiser event for Jin on a better microphone. So anyone wants to check out,
yes.
You could just Venmo, Cash App, PayPal the money.
Yimmer was actually the last person who won that contest.
You're talking through the computer, the mic phone?
No, it's on my computer.
Yeah, and then I said, yeah, oh yeah, sure, and then yeah. Anyway, it's about my
massive pink microphone.
Was for Yimra, and he got a pink Razer.
Hot pink, no less. Hey now, it has been in my prostate.
That fundraiser was that I was using Capital Shopping, and I got rewards back, and I didn't realize it because I was using a company account. So,
perfect! You embezzled
free awards. Yeah, hell yeah. That's what I do, baby. ANCAP life.
I should have my two rings on, my two WAP rings that I could actually wear.
Cybersmith comes on too, or what's up? What do you want to do? The human pet guy.
Let's just keep overloading ourselves with guests. How about that?
Actually, yeah, we could do that. Whatever.
Fuck it. Fuck it. This episode's already a fucking bullet in the shoe.
And every time someone comes on, we can be like, "What do you think of killing your infant children?"
Ooh.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you have a 3-year post-birth abortion, we should just be growing kids for spare organs,
Well. Here's the thing: you can grow them on mice, and mice are cheaper to fucking create, dog. You just put some mice together. I got 9 months.
Or rather, instead of aborting the kid, you just donate it to the organ place, right?
Well, there you go.
You don't have to kill it.
I think
somebody else can kill it.
I think in the future war between India and China and or Pakistan, we should just take prisoners of war, and you can put 2 and 2 together of whatever horrible concept you can have.
All right, guys.
Sure we are that.
I'm gonna move the Cybersmith in, so everybody, prepare yourself.
Oh yeah, all right.
All
Get
right.
ready for actual. This is where we're gonna actually have a serious conversation.
Yeah, right.
Cybersmith, please show me that lustful
Mr.
mustache.
Cybersmith, how's it going?
Oh, you're coming in. Oh,
Yes.
there he is.
There he is.
I went to the dentist earlier. I got back. Dental anesthetic just had me out for hours, so I kind of woke up while I was actually watching another. I was actually watching another. I'm going okay. I was just watching. Sorry, that's why there's a delay. It's because I've also got this in the video. I was just on another. Just watching another live video about this new Adventure Vaults thing for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. They're adding a bunch of new armors, so someone was doing a preview. I was watching that. I'll get back to that after this. But yeah, I kind of woke up a few hours ago. Dental anesthetic, just passed out when I got back to the dentist. How have you guys been?
Are you on Greenwich time then?
Are you British?
Yes.
Oh, you're not like
Yes.
South Africa.
No, he's just doing that for a bit.
No.
Okay, firstly, South Africa is, I think, roughly the same.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Latitude, or am I thinking longitude?
It'd be longitude.
Longitude, yeah.
Longitude, as we are. It is similar, but parts of it are actually. And why would you think I would South Africa?
We got Cybersmith now. Hell to the
I
fuck.
met
That's
a
all
South
good.
African girl the other day. They asked her if she was British.
Oh, dude, and with the setup too, baby. Yeah, I like what you do.
Well, you know, I work as a tutor, so there's a.
Oh, very cool.
Where was
Horrible thing. Like I was sleeping off some dental anesthetic. Woke up just a couple hours ago.
What do they use for? Is it like ketamine or lidocaine, or are you on the like nitrous or what?
Whatever it is, it works really fast. They inject it, it hurts for a bit, and then it's just all numbed up.
Yeah,
they have probably lidocaine.
Have socialized healthcare there, so.
Oh, I thought the dentistry.
No,
was
they don't. Not for dentistry.
Yeah, exactly.
60 quid today cost me. 60 quid for some filling.
What is that in real money?
I think $70 to $80.
Yeah,
70, 80. Okay, that's not bad.
More than ours. I hate to tell you.
I like it.
Of course,
I will $80 for a good opium. Are you kidding me?
Okay, here's the thing. I'm not going to talk about prices of cocaine in the state of New York, but I will ask this question. Cybersmith, Mr. Smith, if you will. Have you had Greg's recently, and what did you have there?
Not recently. Last time I was in a Greg's, I think the last time I was in a Greg's, I had a Belgian bun. But that was a while ago.
Oh wow!
There is a Greg's near me, but it's it's convenient if you're on the go. But if you've got the supermarket and you're planning ahead and just buying things, really must remember to get a Tesco Club card.
Shit, boys.
Should get a Tesco Club card.
I got it. Next time I go over there, I gotta have Greg's again, and I gotta go to a Tesco again because they had some
we can
good
add
shit.
more.
The sausage rolls, my shit.
All right, hold on.
Okay,
All right, guys.
Quick question for Cybersmith. Can you disambiguate a phrase for me? Because sometimes I read things people in England are writing in the English language and I don't understand them. So there's a man eating a can of beans with like cuts up bit of hot dog in them on a piece of toast, and it said it was like Tesco Skegness, and he was counting the number of hot dog bits in the beans. Is Skegness the meal, or is that a place? Or I know Tesco's the grocery store.
Yes, supermarket chain. So Skegness is it's a place, but loads of things are going to be named after. Loads of meals are named after places. The other thing, a lot of meals are named after is historical figures. We have Beef Wellington after the admiral,
I love
after,
Beef
the military commander. Wellington. We have Victoria Sponge. So, yeah.
So real quick, guys, we have another person who wants to join the call now. So if we're gonna continue to have this many people on, we gotta be civilized and not act like a bunch of So one at a time, please.
Why?
All right. So,
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Time.
Who is it? Bring him on.
It is Luke, aka Mr. 1911. Mr. Luke, how is it going? We got you.
Hang on.
No video?
Hang on.
Stand by.
Wait, this isn't the guy that went to Ukraine, right? That's Remy.
Hang on.
1911, is that a reference?
We got him.
They made it up.
There we go.
Fucking
got him.
Okay.
No.
Greetings, niggers. I can't stay long because I'm in
You're holding your
a
phone vertically.
yes, I'm in a super secret location, so I can't stay long. I just wanted to say thank you all for the love and support. I hate all of you except Cybersmith. I'm a huge fan.
Fair.
All right.
Is
You guys have a
1911
good
a
one.
reference to that
Alright,
Mormon
inshallah.
gun model?
Love you, man.
Inshallah.
No, it's a reference to the greatest handgun ever made.
Made by Mormons, yeah.
All right.
All right, have a good one, brother.
Bye.
Can we get a timestamp on the N-bomb?
No, we're leaving that in. See, he's black.
Well,
he can
yeah.
say that. He can say
Yeah,
that.
that's true. That's true.
It's fine.
Watch me in the chat.
It was
Luke's
just
almost as
immediate.
brown
It was
as
just
Matt.
like a kick in the door, you know? I wonder what that's
Yeah.
like.
The lighting in
It's
some
like
of
watching
yours
old
is a
school
bit
Dave
weird. Maybe
Chappelle.
he thought you were black as well.
Maybe.
What,
Yeah.
me?
Well, actually, I was thinking about this recently because I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark on TV, and I realized that if you have the whole forced labor camps in Germany for the Holocaust, that there's more living experience and/or more recent lived experience of slavery among the Jewish community than in the black community.
We was kings, y'all.
I feel like
So that is actually what a surprisingly large number of the people executed at Nuremberg were convicted of. It was forced labor of civilian populations. That was actually, I think more people were executed for that than were actually executed for mass murder, because of course it's a lot easier to prove. The victims of forced labor have an easier time testifying than the victims of murder. So that was a fact. Although they do say there's more slaves in the world today now than there were in the 1800s or the 1700s, even as a percentage of the population. And the reason is, you fuckers did the Suez Canal crisis, and now there's no British Empire around to stop slavery. So I blame you for this, Yanks.
Fair.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, the Royal Navy is going to go around. Who's
Jim's got something.
stopping
Everyone's
you?
quiet down. Her mic's just chill.
Wait, no. You know what? No, he's right. Brexit ended, and they can't stop slavery. Brexit.
I don't care.
Brexit fucked it up, and now the Navy's got fucked up. There we go. You know what? I agree with you regardless.
What's stopping the Royal Navy from going to Libya right now?
Yeah, really. What's stopping y'all?
Don't they have joint task force guys over there with the French or the U.S.?
Oh, mate, you got a license for that Navy.
Allegedly. That is not confirmed. It was like this claim about Israel having nuclear weapons. It is technically at this point just conjecture.
Technically. I wouldn't know any better. I swear to a code, I wouldn't know, but they don't have the Israel doesn't have the Samson option or anything, Not that little concept, it's pretty interesting.
You need nuclear weapons for that. If you targeted, with just conventional weapons, if you were willing to target the right infrastructure, with just conventional explosives and ICBMs, you targeted bridges, water purification facilities, paths in and out of cities, major roads along which food is moved. You could cause a humanitarian disaster without needing nuclear weapons.
We've done that before. I'm pretty sure in the War on Terror that was half the strategy.
Yes. Nuclear weapons are useful for creating a humanitarian disaster, but they're not necessary for it. Not with how a modern urbanized society is so heavily dependent on infrastructure. Look at what happened when that ship got stuck in the Suez Canal. Also your fault, probably. Generally, Suez Canal, I assume.
Is it our fault because the British you all gave up control of Hong Kong and the shipping, or what?
The problem was the captain of that vessel. The captain of that vessel was a woman, which is why the ship got stuck in the Suez Canal. That's what happened.
We're just playing the blame game. Okay, well, what were they a lesbian or not? Because lesbians would have done shit better there.
Oh, lesbians would have gotten it unstuck.
Lesbians would have known what's up.
Caused other shipwrecks. It's going to be like 99.9% of all the shipwrecks in the world were from men. Okay?
No, that's because they're the only ones on the ships usually.
By mermaids, you motherfucker.
Everyone, hold on. Yes, but everyone expects it to be a man, so when it's a woman, we have to lay into him, just like that cop that banged the police force.
Oh,
of course,
no.
Yeah.
I just bring it up.
Wait.
Is this about
We got
Sarah
6 people
Everard?
here. We just need one more person, and then we could have our own.
Is this what's this about the police officer.
I just
this
want
is
to
like the
fuck
Sarah
Ben.
Everard
didn't
case
stop
where
any
this
other cops.
this
Can
this
we
person in
all
the
fuck
Metropolitan
Ben?
Police Force.
No, we
I
can't.
would
Someone
love
in the
for
Metropolitan
somebody in
Police
the
Force
know
can.
to explain to Cybersmith right now the police force
Oh,
gang.
Oh.
There
Quick.
was.
Explained it
What-
to me. I didn't know what it was.
And we've got a
Did you
scandal in
have
the
to
UK
explain it to
because it turns
Cybersmith?
out that there was a London Metropolitan Police officer who was arrested for being a serial rapist. It turns out
Check
he'd
your
raped like
messages.
somewhere over 30
me.
people over the years.
No, so what happened? I don't know that much about it, but this police woman named Megan something, got basically her shit got blown up because she slept with 8 other police officers on the police force and was getting gangbanged and shit.
What happens in the locker room stays in the locker room.
I guess, yeah.
That's their business. That's between them. If they're not doing it on government time,
See,
or
They were.
if they're charging the state overtime for it, yes,
they're
I can see why
absolutely
that'd be a
doing it
concern,
on
but
government time.
I'm a libertarian about this. They can do that if they want to.
They're doing it on
Every
government time,
cop
though.
I know
That is
is
a problem.
constantly working a 12-hour shift on call.
Yeah,
Okay. Or 16-hour shift on call.
literally.
Every moment they're not awake, they're they're
Listen.
getting paid
But
overtime.
if you don't live in
Even
that
when they're sleeping, which they sleep in their cars.
in New York, taxes aren't going to their police force, so what the fuck do I care?
Whoa, wait, this is in New York? It was in my fucking state? What the fuck?
I live in New York.
Wait, you live in New York? Why? What's wrong with you?
Everything.
Oh.
Oh, two of you.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I was kind of shocked she lived in New York, but me, it kind of makes
Yuma
sense.
lives like
It's
a half mile from her. I checked. I'm just kidding.
I'm about to say I'm about to scalp
It
somebody.
costs such an insanely large amount of money to get there, and you aren't even getting better facilities or anything. Ooh,
What?
I get to look at the big bronze statue every day, and for that, I'm willing to pay 3-4 times more than I actually have to just to be alive. Why? Why are you like this?
Well,
So-
she might be referring to the state,
Everyone
not the
shut up.
city.
See,
Everyone
well,
silence.
I live in New York City, and the reason I live here for now is because there is an unlimited amount of fucking money that you can possibly make here. If you live in Nowheresville, Kansas, your cap there's a cap. There's a hard cap for the amount of money that you can make in Nowheresville. But when you live in New York, there is no limit to the amount of money you can make.
Everyone's
That is true.
telecommuting nowadays. I'm at some point actually going to have to make the big video essay, preferably after I have a steady job and I've passed the probation period, so I can't get cancelled for it. But I actually think there is a case made we need to move away from cities as a species. They are disease vectors. Yeah. Everyone talks about, did the coronavirus start in Wuhan? Here's the thing: it wouldn't. If it had started in some isolated little rural village somewhere, wouldn't matter. If it, or even a town like Galashiels, a medium-sized town with a few thousand people, you could have sent, Doctors Without Borders, the World Health. You could have sent doctor volunteers from everywhere in the world to go there to treat that disease, and it would have contained it. But starts in a city, it gets out of control. The other thing, cities are not a reasonable defense strategy now. They used to be, back when your main concern was horse-mounted barbarians running around and, eating your children, selling your wives on the black market, raping your husbands, all this stuff. That was when you wanted a big city with big high walls. But that's not the threat anymore. The threat anymore is now ICBMs and explosives and terror attacks with bioweapons. Cities are now more vulnerable to enemy attack, not less. So what is the purpose of the city now? Economically,
I got a statement. I am the danger. I am the reason everyone should not be anywhere near the city. I'm going to drive a bulldozer into a building. Thank you.
Not
Based.
Hey, you can do that in Granby, Colorado. That's
Yeah,
just
but
maybe a
I'm
couple
not
thousand
doing it somewhere
people.
cold, bro.
It'll
I'm
cost
not
you
doing
less
that
to do
somewhere
that
cold.
in
Yimra, can you hook me up with a bulldozer? Actually, I need one for reasons.
Those are a lot of money, but if you need it to be
maintained, I could probably help you.
How much we talking?
Just rent one.
Whoa. Rent
And
one? What am I? Whoa. What am I,
Rent.
poor? What am I, in a lower tax bracket?
Of the
Rent
company
one.
you get it from.
Yeah, let me rent one that's like 7 years old and beat the shit out of by guys who don't know what they're doing, who drive into concrete walls every 10 minutes. What am I, poor and bad at my job?
concrete wall, though.
I'm with that
That's what
bulldozer.
you're going to do with it.
Rented it from.
I hate
gotta
telling this.
say,
They're treated just like cars as far as registration goes and who owns it. It's a whole bunch of paperwork.
When
super expensive.
when I operated a front-loaded excavator to dig a pond on my dad's property was one of the best moments of my life.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Based.
saying. You know. All right, so
what did you do in
someone
all
here
year?
lives close to me now should be fearing for their scalp. Is all I'm saying. I don't know who, but somebody does now.
So what did you do with all the earth? You made a pond. Did you then make like a dike or a fortification around the property with all the earth that you'd excavated?
We made a swale. So you excavate uphill. It's in Montana, so it's quite mountainous. And so you excavate uphill and then pile it down to make the dam out the bottom, and then it's just got a little spillway over. It's a nice duck pond, and it stores water for when it's dry, which it often isn't in Montana. It's almost coastal.
You could go further. I guess you could make an internal reservoir actually, if you wanted to.
Yep.
And that's one of the big reasons why they say places in California now are running out of money because they haven't made reservoirs in 40 odd years.
California is if you ever wonder what a state looks like when it's completely run as a extractive
social experiment.
That's what California is. Yep. So no, they have no meaningful infrastructure. If you follow on Twitter, there's I think it's
Have you ever lived in California?
I was born in California.
I visited there once when I was very, very young. Went to Legoland. Was badly injured in Legoland.
Good choice. That's a big choice.
Wait. You were badly injured in Legoland. What happened?
What?
Yes, hit my head off or something. Bled a lot, apparently.
Oh,
I was like
shit.
5. Don't really remember it.
Do you get stitches?
Yeah. Apparently, they were all really concerned that they'd get sued, but the people I was with were very concerned as well because they weren't my parents, so they were thinking this was going to get in trouble. I was staying with some friends of my parents.
Wow, that would have been you securing the bag, and those people they should have done it. They should have sued Legoland.
Should be bankrolling you right now.
Yeah, seriously, you should be sponsored by Lego.
All I'm saying is just fake another injury that may be related to the physical trauma of your head.
Is there not for that kind of thing?
That being said, your hair looks freshly washed.
I'm sorry, my hair. I said I was sleeping. So this is all kind of messed up from hair, from
it's like
product
a
and stuff.
My man.
There's some natural curls in there. It looks soft. I want to play with it with my fingers. Run through it right there. You know what I'm saying?
I normally would have combed it once. As I said, I got all messed up from dental anesthesia. So it's normally better taken care of than this. Actually, might want to trim this at some point. It's getting kind of long. I've been cutting my own hair for really since the start of the lockdowns.
Huh. I literally just got a haircut today because my hair was getting down to here, and I had facial hair on. I literally shaved and cut.
So he looks like a 1920s Italian fascist now.
Yeah, it didn't help that.
You should have shaved but kept the long hair. You look like Kylo Ren.
Oh.
I still got length.
Looks like.
I still got length.
Okay, you look like a less cool version of Kylo Ren, but
looks like Chris Angel.
Chris Angel is Greek, by the way. I think his real name is like Anagopoulos or some fucking bullshit.
Anagopoulos.
I can't remember the name, but his actual legal name is some Greek shit.
No, Yimmer looks like the bastard child of Imperioli, Michael Imperioli.
Yeah, Michael Imperioli had good bone structure.
Yeah.
Because Michael Imperioli had that Bob's Burger chin, but those sweet eyebrows. Hey, ain't thinking no more of this shit.
They call it Twitch. They play video games on the internet and people watch them.
Hey, they've been making this new thing. They got Twitch. They put a bunch of perverts and they put their tits out where they play Call of Duty or some shit. We gotta get on this, T.
Wait, do you live in Brooklyn?
No, my father's from Brooklyn. I live in New York. I live very close to the city. I live
very close,
in New Jersey.
He lives in Queens.
You live within the blast radius if Israel uses the Samson option.
I'm
oh yeah.
Yes. I'm fucked, bro.
Yimmer decided that if that happened, he just wanted to be vaporized immediately.
I live very close to the city, and I work in the city, so I'm fucked no matter what. So if the nukes go off, I'm dying the best way possible instantly.
Remember that Anakin black guy? I think he's still around, but he's just blocked me on every social media platform because I pointed out that cities have limited supply lines.
There was
He's
two
still
combos
around.
going on.
Oh, yeah, he's fine.
Anarchy in Black, Marcellus, that guy.
I think
I don't know if he's still right because he's blocked me on everything.
Like economic sectors
to get aid. Who do you think they're gonna come to first to rescue? They're gonna rescue New York or Nowheresville, fucking Montana? They're gonna come to New York first.
Well, if New York is a crater.
Here's the thing.
Why do I need to be rescued when I've got my own water supply?
Exactly, yeah. See, all of the people in the middle of the nowhere, they were going to be like, nah, y'all don't need to come check on me. I'm good. Just leave me alone. I got everything I need.
You can't rescue someone from a direct strike with a hydrogen bomb.
Well, no.
You'd have to reconstitute them out of atoms.
You can't fight the military with an AR-15 either, so we're all fucked.
No. Here's the thing. You know what you do is you strap a bunch of plastic explosive and a bunch of pipe bombs, and you run at somebody until you feel better about yourself and pull the trigger. That's how you fight against someone you don't agree with.
And then you respawn, and then you go recon, and then you just camp the mountainside. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you use the C4.
I think that is actually a crime, but okay.
Well, we're all about crime. What's a crime?
I think if you're concealing the C4, then it counts as impersonating a civilian. I mean, I guess if you dress up as a soldier and you're just using suicide troops, that strangely no one ever seems to do that. They always dress as civilians, which is a crime.
Well, I mean, I'm doing this against NYPD, so I don't think I'm gonna win the situation. They got a lot of money.
In Minecraft,
have you checked the
NYPD has more money than most of the world's militaries. What are you spending on?
Should I? Am I on there?
Am
I on a no-fly list again? Allegedly?
I'm no fan of the NYPD. If you try to fight them, you're gonna lose. Just run away.
I mean, he is
with erectile dysfunction. I'm going to lose. That's fine, but I'm going to win in my own way.
But he is built a little different.
I ain't gonna die. I'm getting on my boat and I'm going away.
What's okay? What's
Yeah,
wrong
what,
with
you're
the
gonna
NYPD?
go out to,
I
like-
know they are very expensive, but why are you not a fan of the NYPD? They seem to be some of the only people in New York actually trying to fix things.
Because they're the most corrupt police force on.
LAPD got the
No,
cap
I
on
was
that
gonna say
thing.
LAPD definitely has the cap on
LAPD
that.
for
Like,
sure, 'cause
I lived in both places and I don't know.
LAPD
You lived
has
in both
Literal
places.
ethnic gangs in their police departments, broski.
So do we.
Well, yeah, but ours are cooler. So, they got Training Day. That's the only cool LA cop movie.
This is
other
chess,
one's
not
easy
checkers.
keyboard.
What about Roger Rabbit?
That's 1940s. Does that count, dude?
Yeah,
Oh, of course.
yeah.
That's not even. Wait.
They haven't changed that.
Wait. Pause. He's a PI. He's not a cop.
Just make you Americans mad that Hot Fuzz, despite being a parody of your police film, is actually better than your police
fucking
films.
movie.
Yes.
Oh, Hot Fuzz is a fantastic movie. We're not mad about that.
Fucks.
Yeah, that movie rules. Yeah.
I would literally have consensual sex with that film if it was physically possible. I would
You
bust on his
I mean,
chest.
Send Simon Pegg or Nick Frost over.
There
Yeah,
are holes in
it's on.
DVDs.
It won't fit because it's too small, so I'm not gonna get any friction with the center of the disc. So, you know.
So I think, Gimra, now that we have two guests here, I think it's time that you instructed them on the wonders of what you and Grimace do.
I hope you heard that burp. Okay. So you both are aware of Grimace, the McDonald's mascot.
Why don't we see him around anymore? In fact, I haven't seen any of them.
Well, I have an answer for you. You're not going to like it.
See, Grimace is my lover. Grimace is a 400-pound, beautiful, purple beauty. Grimace is a female but identifies with male pronouns but has a coochie. Grimace is... Probably.
No.
Grimace is what we
I'm
call...
sure there's something better I could be doing with my life.
Well, I can tell you about how the Hamburglar tries to steal my sexual libido.
Please
Yeah.
Which
don't.
isn't much better. There are many McDonald's mascots that are sexually involved in my life.
I forgot the other ones.
But right now, Big Bird is also watching everything that happens. But anyways, Grimace has a...
Let me down some liquor before I explain Grimace further because we're getting near the end.
I don't think you should.
Oh,
Yeah, you should. 100%. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, that's impressive.
What part of this do you think is going to
Cheers,
be
bro.
improved by
Drink
his
that.
inebriation?
Cheers, Project.
Oh
So-
my
Grimace.
God. Ladies and
Grimace,
gentlemen, that's a construction worker. That man is power equipment certified.
You don't know what I do with all kinds of machines. Hey, so, anyways, let's talk about my boy Grimace. My man's Grimace. My boy Grimace, what he does, he's got this voluptuous, thick, juicy, like a McRib, like a McChicken. When you bite down, you see the juices come out of that sandwich. That is how his thick, gelatinous, redefining the beauty of an angel's pussy is. Every time I dive deep in there, it's like a mixture of heroin and opium mixed together with the ecstasy of MDMA. It's like listening to Jimi Hendrix's fucking Star Spangled Banner on acid. That's just entering. Thrusting's a whole nother story. Thrusting is whatever those fucking terrorists felt when they hit the towers. Which, rest in peace, everybody over there. But what those fucking assholes felt. It's like driving a Dodge Challenger Hellcat into a preschool. And if you've ever went down on your knees before the throne of a lady's coochie into a man's fat fucking cock,
It came back at the right time.
it's like being at an altar before God himself. Instead of God, God's internal warmth has nothing.
I
on
don't
what
think God
Grimace
is
will
playing
give
any
you
part
when
in
you
this
eat.
story.
I guess
This is
I'm
I'm
for other reasons.
well, I'm just going through a lot, guys, and this is about the only way I feel alive. I don't know what to tell you. So, anyways, going down
You
on
consider
Grimace,
speaking to a
it's like having
psychiatrist
Big
or
Mac sauce.
self-harming?
What? This is therapy, if anything.
We're all
I
here
think
for
it's
him,
technically a
okay?
form of psychological self-abuse.
Oh no, this is definitely not. This is self-medicating, but it's not the most unhealthy thing I've done. If we're gonna go that
By
route.
this standard, cutting yourself would be
All right, everyone,
self-medicating.
Hold up. Everyone, shh.
Yeah?
Jen, if you have headphones, put them in. Because we got people in the chat saying it's cutting in and out a lot, and I think it's because of how your speakers and mic work. So if you have like ear pods, like a typical white woman would, or wired, which is what a poor person would, like plug those in. Get them going.
Yeah, alright. Give me a second. Sorry.
Oh god, it's coming out of the plastic.
Well, I was saying that too because that was a problem. Because I remember me and Jen had a very late night discussion about the age of consent, and it kept cutting in and out. Her end. It was because I was talking a lot, and she kept trying to tell me to stop. I couldn't hear her because I was talking so much about. Well, as a libertarian,
Really, I really can't wait to get a noise complaint. I think I might get a noise complaint for that little monologue I just did. It was pretty loud. I have to literally have a headphone off to make sure I'm not too loud. I definitely broke a vessel in my fucking throat or something. I think my head's still popping a vein.
Wait,
Nice.
you live in an apartment? I thought you like.
I'm on the third story in an attic, bro. This shit's thin as fuck.
Wait, no, okay, so it's an attic apartment.
It's the third floor of like an old farmhouse building.
So he lives in New Jersey. The place that he lives in isn't zoned for like residence.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually this entire room is renovated just for me, but I actually live in an industrial building. I just say I do office work in here between when I have a sledgehammer to my house.
Something I think about from time to time here in Wyoming is like you can just buy an airplane hangar next to an airstrip and just like live in an airplane hangar.
I mean,
like
you can do whatever you want if you don't get caught. So I mean,
well, no, I'm saying like people have like there's a history of this to the point that like at every county airport there are hangars with apartments built into them.
I would do that in a fucking heartbeat. That's it would probably be awkward to shoot guns in the air if you actually hit a plane.
Yeah, keep the rent down,
Of course.
I think that would involve, understandably, some people being upset.
Wyoming's only expensive because of Kanye West and Bill Gates. So,
well, I would want to live in Montana anyway.
Outside of the hangar.
Listen, Montana's the place to be when enough of my union
I just
dudes.
realized. I wonder if I could change the settings. Is that but like no comment section, and you got the fucking Cybersmith on from one person. It's like, yeah, I forgot we did the subscribers. You have to be there for a day. So I'm gonna go look into editing that because a lot of people can't comment right now. Apparently,
Yeah, just undo it for now.
Legend, bro.
Should be safe.
Legend, bro.
We do have a certified hood classic out here.
We do.
What's up?
Yimmer's living in the attic. We're gonna get Yim Frank's diary released in the next 70 years.
I work at Freddy Fazbear Pizza. That's my situation right now. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Freddy Fazbear. I've never played that game, but a lot of people want to fuck the robots, so I guess it's got to be a good game.
Sure.
People want to fuck the things in it, like Overwatch. Overwatch is liked by people, and they want to fuck them Japanese dudes in it, so that's got to be a good game. Is that how it works now?
That's exactly how it works.
That is a metric, but as with all metrics, it will stop working once it becomes a goal.
Okay, that's actually... I'm going to tattoo that to my ass cheek. That's a good one. That's a good quote.
How do I change this thing? Because we had some bots one day. Allow all comments.
I know Amber is watching right now.
Amber alert.
Amber alert.
Yeah.
Amber Heard?
Amber wants all your junk.
Oh, I have so much ass. I can't even... If I back it up to anybody, I might dislocate their fucking hip.
Okay, alright, everybody. Now anybody can comment.
Fuck yeah, here we go. Let it rip.
Yes.
It's just going to be the N-word 1,000 times.
My legs are cold. You should have worn trousers for this.
Alright, so yeah, so basically this is about to turn into like I guess Cybersmith Ask Me Anything.
Oh boy.
Where can we see the comments?
It'd be on the YouTube feed, right?
I will Cybersmith, I will read them to you as I see them.
There's Amber. So, there she is.
We got Amber.
Who's Amber?
We will.
Amber's my little wench.
I don't like how that was said, but okay.
It doesn't matter what you like.
It kind of does, because it's about me sometimes. If it's not about me, I'll become a problem that you'll hear about in the news.
Listen, if there's nobody having sex and I'm not in it, I'm not interested.
You just made the category of what crime to commit very easy in this joke.
Typical woman.
No, it was a line from Always Sunny, but okay.
You're not a twink, so I don't give a shit.
Because of the implication. She's not gonna say no.
So these people are in danger. No one's in danger. So these people are in danger.
No. I would never. But.
What?
She's not.
Always thought it was so good.
I'm actually not all caught up on your videos. What was your position on this situation happening in Ukraine?
Oh, I hope both of them lose.
Oh, I don't.
Because I did post a while before the invasion. I'd say we need to maybe look into crowdfunding some sort of attempt to neutralize Vladimir Putin before this all goes south.
Yeah,
I mean, not kill him or anything drastic like that, but maybe crowdfund sending some mercenaries to abduct him, and then we didn't do that, and the whole situation went south. Didn't establish a no-fly zone, and then the whole situation went south. At every step, people just said, okay, at some point he's going to stop. Why would he stop? It's the same problem with what's that old Rudyard Kipling setting? Once you pay the Dane Guild, you never get rid of the Dane.
We should introduce chemical weapons for both sides until someone actually intervenes that's actually going to do something. We need to have like an actual country that isn't just getting thrown like a couple of cool bits from the U.S. military.
If either side was good at anything, they would already have their own chemical
weapons. Whoa! I just saw that
Oh,
hand signal, dog. Yo! I see that hand signal. I see what's up. You be lifting up them fucking that fucking bucket. I see. Okay. Okay.
Here's my unironic opinion. is that Vladimir Putin has committed significantly less war crimes than any U.S. president ever has, or the U.S. Congress ever has.
That's whoa.
There are two things wrong with that.
The Russian
It's
airborne.
so easy to be better than them. Come on now.
The Russian
that's
airborne should airdrop into Washington, D.C., arrest all of the members of Congress and the president, and execute them at the Hague for war crimes. And
Wait.
Okay, there's so much wrong with that. Firstly,
there is.
Fewer,
I just want to have my
not
one
less,
bad
it's
opinion real
fewer
quick.
war crimes. Secondly, it is pronounced The Hague, not The Hag.
Yes.
It's of an old woman who's going to hex you.
What I already said.
Thirdly, I don't think that's even remotely. True. Yeah, Russia's not gotten as much done because it's weak, not because it's morally enlightened. Russia is
Russians, Eastern Europeans, they're animals. All of them.
Yeah.
That's a quote. I'm gonna get killed later.
It's a paraphrase, and it's a paraphrase from Anakin Skywalker.
Well, as far as UN Security Councils go, UN Security Council members go, Russia's got the least blood on its hands of all of them. So.
Okay, that's a bit of a cheat because it took over the Soviet Union draw, which incidentally, I'm honestly thinking it shouldn't have been allowed to do. I'm also thinking that Nixon made a massive mistake in acknowledging Red China as holding a Security Council seat. Should have said no. Taiwan gets it, and Ukraine gets it.
See,
if we had Taiwan and Ukraine on the World Security Council, it would already be doing a lot better than we are now.
You're operating under the principle that the global elite who run countries actually give a shit about anything.
That's not. Stop. That's not a fun conversation point. His thing is interesting. I want to hear more about this. Well, so if we did the whole Ukraine and Taiwan be part of the UN Security Council, what would Red China and/or Russia have to do to be put on that council exactly?
Well, they would. Those are 5 permanent members. The question is, what was the legitimate?
If you have to replace somebody,
which China was legitimate? And I don't think Red China was a legitimate one. I don't think it has a claim.
I totally agree with you, but Nixon's trying to make money, and the Chinese Communist Party is trying to make money. So that's what happened.
Well, I think the problem is you're not having fun with the concepts here. It's like those assholes who do what if the Germans
live in a much better world if Taiwan was still the Republic of China was still actual China on the UN Security Council. That would be a better world.
I'm not super happy with the idea of it being
better than I do.
Frankly, to be completely honest, I don't think any country that's going to call itself a republic has a legitimate claim to being China. China was never a republic. Once you've started saying we're a republic, well, you've already cut the thread of history. You aren't even claiming the mandate of heaven at that point. So by what actual basis are you calling yourself Chinese? You aren't claiming I am a legitimate successor to Emperor Qin. You're just some guy who got elected by people, some of whom happen to be Chinese. Whatever the hell that even means, because Chinese
honestly,
historically meant...
Nancy Pelosi has more of a mandate of heaven on that basis than anybody else, right?
I have
all the Chinese people in San Francisco.
Okay,
Cybersmith.
What the fuck is a mandate of heaven?
It's what legitimized... The mandate of heaven is what legitimized Chinese rulers, and the current leaders of the PRC don't have it. They don't even claim to have it.
So it's like a dynastic thing.
Sort of, but it's not bound to any one like China has gone through multiple dynasties, but they've all inherited the mandate of heaven. First person to have the mandate of heaven was Emperor Qin, sometimes called Emperor Qin. He's the one China is named after because he was a bit of an egoist, to be honest. But he was the first person to have the mandate of heaven. I think they stopped having the mandate of heaven sometime in the early 1900s, but you could argue even the late 1800s they may have lost it. But the point is, they don't even claim to have it now. They don't have the mandate of heaven.
Well,
so they haven't had it in ages.
The de facto mandate of heaven has been economic progress as guaranteed by the CCP, which as soon as the economy slows down, it's gonna the Chinese people. It took like a week of protests to overthrow all the COVID mandates.
Okay, wait. This is depressing and not involving religious fervor. Cybersmith, I want to hear your opinion about the Taiping Rebellion and how it affected Chinese history or the Chinese future. I want to hear about your opinion about the Taiping Rebellion. The one in which that one guy thought he was Jesus Christ's brother and started that civil war.
Oh, the Boxer Rebellion?
Oh.
No. The Boxer Rebellion is in the early 1900s. The Taiping Rebellion is about around the 1860s, 40s. I would say. Taiping Rebellion, where the guy thought he was a brother of Christ and started a whole civil war.
That was when China kind of fractured into multiple smaller states.
Before it was called the Warlord. There was a Warlord era later on, before World War II, and there was a Boxer Rebellion, and then there was a Taiping Rebellion further back.
Based on tradition. That is traditionally how you demonstrated that you had the mandate of heaven. China did this periodically over thousands of years. It would fragment into smaller states. Each of those states would be led by a warlord. One of the warlords would win and thus demonstrate that he had the mandate of heaven. So they haven't done that in ages. Even Mao didn't claim the mandate of heaven.
Yeah, the last time was the warlord era. So basically, it's akin to what Italy does speed running every couple of months when they get a new leader or a new political party that gets relevant for 2 minutes. China does on a bigger, longer scale.
Yes. Exactly, and they should do that again. They should fragment into multiple smaller states, each ruled by their own warlord. One of those warlords will eventually take over, and then in a couple thousand years we'll have a Jet Li movie about it.
That is...
That's exactly how millions of lives should be spent.
Sounds like a lot of male bullshit.
Okay, well, I mean, wasn't it like a female
What exactly
leader in
else
China?
are you going to do if you live in China? So you talk about spending lives, but what else is someone in China going to do with their life?
My sister. That's a good thing.
What else is someone in China going to do with their life?
Pause.
By reading some great literature.
don't have a good track
all the
record
literature's
for
been
doing
banned. Maybe they'd like to watch some films. All the films have been banned. What are you going to do in China if you're not dying in one of the dynastic wars of secession? They basically banned every other fun activity.
Oh my god, I'm falling asleep.
So,
eating dogs they banned too. The dog eating festival.
Oh, I would eat a dog. I don't care.
I'll kick a puppy down a flight of stairs. That being said, they banned the dog eating festival because all the animal abuse before they ate the dog.
The white woman doesn't have a
well,
problem
I'm
with
opposed
dog
to animal
insiders.
abuse, so that sounds like a good thing.
Oh, actually, fun thing to talk about again, because we got a photographer here. We've got a programmer, right? Cybersmith. Oh, real quick, Cybersmith, did you get a new job yet or no?
I had a job. Since that one didn't work out, the hours and the commute were just not working for me. So I've got to go back to tutoring for a bit. I'm making some new applications, hoping to find something new with a more sensible schedule, because that was killing me, that last job.
Gotcha. Because last I checked, you were doing interviews and all that shit. So anyway,
yeah. So I got a job. That one's successful. Moved in, new place and all, but the commute for that was just killing me.
Fucking brutal. Yeah, gotcha. So what we're gonna talk about now, just for fun, because I like to poke the bear, intellectual property rights. Because Jin's a photographer, we got a programmer. Do you own your code the moment it's public? Do you own a photo the moment it's public? And Jin's got
define public, because as far as code is,
when it comes to art
in the open.
Whatever you create is your copyright automatically under the law. You can go and file extra stuff if you want to.
I don't care about the law.
Because the question we then have to ask is exactly what.
I made it. It's mine because I made it.
But you sold it to someone, then it's theirs, right?
I didn't sell the copyright.
What we have to ask here is that we're treating ownership as a holistic question. Copyright law mostly pertains itself to the question of who is allowed to profit from a work. But by the most extreme article, if you say you own the art, you're not just saying you own the physical atoms that you used to make the original piece. You're saying you own the concept. But if someone with, say, an eidetic memory looks at your art that you've made public, there exists an absolute high-fidelity image of that stored somewhere in their brain. Is that a violation of your ownership? What does your ownership exactly entail?
You paint a picture, right? An original picture of nobody that can be recognized or no thing that can be recognized. It's not of the Empire State Building. It's not of a model. It's just
Are there boobs in it?
It's a penis with 4 balls at the end of the shaft.
It's a picture that came out of your imagination.
I sure did come.
Nobody else was involved. You painted this picture.
No, everybody was involved. So much cum.
So nobody else can make money off this picture that you made unless they make a deal with you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. This is a theoretical conversation
are you
as is.
remembering what we talked about?
This conversation is not for me anymore. I'm gonna lay on the floor or something.
Oh yeah, but like, what's going on in the fucking over in Europe and shit, wherever the fuck? I don't care. It's outside America. Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
It's like, about. It was funny because the whole thing is like it's like contracts, right? Like if you put like either you put it out open source code or whatever, or if you're selling an image that you took,
Right.
Contract, it's like limited use.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's like I'm selling it to you, specifically you. If it goes anywhere else and it's monetary stuff in the contract, you would have it to where I will be reimbursed. You don't need these copyright laws. You don't need the government making the shit for you. You have it in a contract by court, and if someone breaches that contract with, like, let's say, Cybersmith,
if you're smart, you make a contract.
Well, that's why. Because the thing is, everyone relies on fucking government, so they don't make.
But the government enforces contracts.
You don't need a government to enforce contracts. You have private courts to do that, private arbitrators to do that.
Okay.
Cybersmith. How you doing over there? What are you looking at?
Sorry, I was in another chat with someone else.
Oh yeah. No,
the question that we have to that we essentially have to ask.
Oh no, I'm spitballing. I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, we're just thought experimenting.
The problem is that you're treating ownership as a holistic
and I got
issue.
my answer.
So, what exactly does ownership of a painting entitle you to do?
Ownership of the concept. To copy, reproduce, and sell any. You can sell the original. You can sell a copy. You can sell a print. You can sell an NFT. Whatever.
Does it entitle you exclusively to copies? Because are copies in people's brains not legitimate copies?
No, unless you sign a contract for that.
Okay, so someone with an eidetic memory can't even look at your painting then?
Well, they can look at it.
The moment you made it public, you allowed that.
They can absolutely look at it, but they can't copy it and sell it. No.
They can't physically make the thing and sell it.
Like they can't take that image, scan it, and sell it. If they want to look at that image and paint it, that's a different story.
Yeah, right? I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So like if I take a picture of the Empire State Building, I don't own the Empire State Building, right? I don't have the right.
Pretty sick too, honestly. Who owns the Empire State Building? That's a Google question I've ever heard one.
It's gonna send you down a rabbit hole. Don't do it right now.
I'll do it right now. Watch how quick I do this right now. Who owns? Wait.
I'm gonna go down a whole rabbit hole with that.
Who owns the Empire State Building? Got you. 1 minute. Don't.
But if you take a photograph of something that is protected by copyright, like if I take a picture of a Coca-Cola can, I can't sell it because Coca-Cola owns the rights to the design, right? Because they designed it. I didn't. I took a picture of it. Sure, I can put it on my Instagram or on my website.
Your concept of
Wait. The rabbit hole is getting interesting very quickly.
It's very.
Okay. So your concept of income is that you could otherwise distribute as many copies of it as you liked and then pass them out without charging money for it.
For free, yeah. For free, it doesn't matter.
Okay, what about barter?
Free, it doesn't matter. Barter doesn't matter. But if you're going to make money off something I made and we didn't have a deal about that, then there's a problem. Yeah. Like, we can talk about it. If you want to sell it, we'll talk about it. We'll make a deal. If not, then you're in breach of contract.
Well, you buy it for limited use. Like it's like just for you. But if you're trying to make a profit, like
if I do a photo shoot for a family, they can put it on their Instagram, they can put it on their website, they can put it on their Christmas cards. I don't give a fuck. But if they try to sell that picture as a stock photo or something like that, then it becomes a problem. Because they don't own the copyright.
What is inherently special about selling it that using it in some other way isn't going to be? The trouble.
I'm the one who made it, so I'm the one who should be profiting from it.
Okay, so I take a copy of your image, and I'm not selling it for money. But I go up to some stranger in the street and I say, I will give you a picture of this of this person's painting in exchange for sexual favors.
Whatever.
Is this a violation of copyright? But
No.
why? Intrinsically, there's no moral difference. It's just different types of currency.
Because it's not a loss of profit to me.
It potentially is. You could also have exchanged a copy of that photo for sexual favors.
I don't want sexual favors.
You don't necessarily want money either.
You're losing the profit of the brony in the mason jar.
So it's like
you could be pimping him out for viewing the picture.
Legally, then you could say it's an opportunity cost. If you were going to take it to court, you could say it's an opportunity cost.
Real quick, Jen, but you're fucking right. I'm on a fucking rabbit hole with this Empire State Building shit. Real quick. I'm not. Wait. Real quick.
I told you not to do it.
I literally screen recorded that one of the first questions where it says who owns the Empire State Building gives me a fucking name. I click on it. Website. The fucking site doesn't exist anymore. And then who's the owner? Empire State Reality Trust. Now I have to go ahead and Google Empire State Reality Trust. Empire State Reality Trust. Who owns this? Who owns it? See, Empire State Reality Trust. Who owns it?
It's going to be buried under shells and shells and shells and shells of corporations. It's so buried you can't.
The answer seems to be Peter L. Malkin. Now, who's Peter L. Malkin? Not done yet. He's an American real estate investor and chairman of Malkin.
Is there a difference between a corporate shell and a person? E.g., actually, we should get out. Citizens United. Is it justified? Is corporate speech the same as private speech? Because if you say
you're using words that make things sound more important, either way, I fucking hate whoever this guy is.
In the eyes of the government, corporations have the same rights as individual human beings. So if a corporation commits a crime that would put a human being in jail, they should be held accountable.
So is it like RICO in that case? Like the RICO statute, which would make anyone part of said organization automatically criminal? The answer is no. Oh no, but but not all of them.
Well, in my opinion, yes.
Well,
if you work for a bad corporation, you know what you're doing.
The fucking guy who's mopping the floors.
Yeah, you can work anywhere else. The pay is the same. If you're mopping,
they don't know it's a bad corporation. They're there to mop the floors.
All you do is show up and scan your fucking time card and mop the floor.
Whoa! Slow down.
Where to work? You're choosing where to work.
You're like, oh man, this company that buys real estate. I'm just somebody who just works full time, goes home, supports my kid on a second job, who's not going to do the research because let's be honest. The average person.
You should do the research.
No, but the problem is your assumption that a person will put in the research about moral ethics about companies and assume all this kind of stuff. That's a more modern thing that most people will actually think about, quite frankly, outside of very educated people. We're talking about motherfuckers doing 2 or 3 jobs. You're telling me the person who's, let's be honest, that's not your fault. But why is that person automatically is now implicit in what the RICO statute makes sense technically if you're being an asshole.
When you work for an evil company, if you work
for
janitor, or if you work for Facebook, yes.
That is retarded, and that's all I'll have to say.
You worked for Elon Musk. You worked for Jeff Bezos.
Wait. Okay.
Working at the thrift store. So
no, but that automatically assumes that every person involved.
Who do you think owns the thrift store?
Like the girl down the road.
Are you sure?
No, the problem is the assumption
is owned by larger businesses.
Let me say my piece, which is the assumption that the average person who is working a job, mostly probably not to live comfortably, is to just survive to some extent, if you want to use those terms, is not going to do the research. They don't care. They want to make money. Sure. They're and I think it's not the same as the RICO statute in the sense of you join an organized crime. Yeah, you probably shouldn't you shouldn't be charged with murder just because your homeboy also killed somebody. Yeah. Yes, that can be argued. In some cases. In other cases, you knew about it, you could have stopped it. But saying the average worker is beholden to whatever the company they work for, I think is kind of silly. When it's on a lower end. When you're on the higher end, yes.
Okay, you specifically gave the examples of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and it's oh, I'm the guy who cleans the toilets at the murder factory versus I'm the guy that cleans the toilets at the warehouse where they ship things. Or I'm the guy who cleans the warehouse at the car.
We're talking about the average worker.
How do you feel like that person's an
wherever
evil
you
person?
live, you're gonna have the option to work at the evil place or work at the good place.
There's no what's a moral place
What is
to
the
work
good
at,
place?
generally speaking?
What is the good place?
Elementary school or something. The pay is going to be.
Oh, a
But
public
here's the thing,
school?
the
Absolutely not.
Indoctrinating children.
I was about to say
It's absolutely going to be the same.
So no matter what, someone else's opinion will still stay.
If you're making $14 an hour, do you want to work like at a local establishment or do you want to work for fucking Raytheon? Okay, when you make that decision,
people at Raytheon don't make $14 an hour.
They make way more than that. A consideration. If the pay is not,
we're not talking about.
We're talking about the janitor at Raytheon. We're not.
No,
talking
we're talking lower end people working.
I know people who went on to be engineers at Raytheon.
Like
I'm not friends with them anymore.
Here's the thing.
They are culpable in that.
Yes.
Shit.
No. Yes. Yeah. Well. Yes, but not.
You know the job that I'm not
I feel
working
like
at
there's
anymore.
I feel like there's a deep disconnect. What I'm saying here is I'm talking about the average working person who does not have the time to put all this thought and effort and have even the luxury of this conversation. I mean,
to Google something. Come on.
Which
I
you
have
have
an
to assume that they will even want to Google that or think that that's even
hold on,
Yimra,
hold on.
Here's the difference. I think you should consider. Here's the difference to consider, Jenny. Is that like okay? I could be making twice or three times as much as I could right now working for Raytheon. I choose not to because I want to work for the good guys. The thing is, I'm not designing weapons or building weapons for Raytheon. The person who is just trying to like they probably work as a contractor for a secondary company as the janitor or as the cafeteria worker or something like that.
Well, if they're contractors, then it doesn't matter. Contractors don't count. We're talking about
they're doing the same exact thing. They're doing the exact same job for that company.
Sanitation specialist at
so the difference is they're hired by somebody else technically to do the same job in the same building.
Yeah,
but they work
guys, hold on.
That's how both the corporation.
You know the job that I just left.
No, that's too much more grandstanding.
Hold on.
I was programming military submarines.
No, that's cool. That sounds cool as fuck, actually.
Submarines don't.
Fuck every conversation we just had.
Who's been killed by a submarine in the last 70 years?
Soviets by their own submarines.
Wait, whoa. Regardless of anything I just said or disagreed or agreed with, that is so cool. Everything just went out my head. I don't give a shit. You know what, Jin, you're right. I don't give a shit. I don't get. Jin, you're right as far as I'm concerned in this conversation. You talk about submarines doing some cool shit. I don't give a shit anymore.
So why do you think? I have a question. Why do you think Raytheon are the bad guys?
Because they don't make clocks for me.
Because they lobby Congress through a series of non-profits.
So does literally every other manufacturer of any substance in the USA. If I went and worked for a corn farmer in the USA, I would be benefiting from subsidies way more than anyone working for Raytheon.
Raytheon is bad because they were selling LBGTQ BBQ socks on their fucking employee store. And that was the final straw for me.
Yep, that was it.
Raytheon makes their money selling million-dollar bombs to drop on $3 tents in the Arabian Peninsula.
But the socks, that was it. That was across the line. The gay socks.
So let's take this to the logical conclusion. Do you want Heckler and Koch to be held morally accountable for the actions of people who buy their weapons?
No, because I morally am accepting what I do. When I take an MP5.
I legitimately do not buy weapons from defense contractors. I don't think that's a moral. If you are collecting your funds via taxation to procure arms so that you can extort the public, then I think you should not be.
If you've eaten anything in the USA that is made out of corn syrup, then you've been part of something that has more government subsidies involved than any amount of.
It's not about the government subsidies. It's about collecting via extortion money to buy arms to kill people.
But Raytheon isn't doing the extortion. Their clients are. It comes out to the same moral issue. Raytheon isn't accountable for how the people it sells its weapons to made their money, unless you're going to make the same
government
argument about
actually is.
crime
The
gangs
government
that buy
isn't
them.
elected officials. The government isn't the people on the ballot. The government is who Raytheon and Boeing and General Dynamics decides gets to buy and do the contracts.
So you're actually saying your problem with Raytheon and Boeing and General Dynamics is they're not selling weapons to you, which essentially makes the process of a boycott completely meaningless. You can't boycott someone on the grounds that they aren't selling you things in the first place.
I would prefer if I could buy a personal atomic weapon or a Bradley fighting vehicle, that would be awesome.
What can I buy from Raytheon?
A nuclear device.
Or you mean the company that manufactures and sells weapons of mass destruction to our enemies to use against us?
Legally,
that
WMD is a
that part doesn't matter. I want to see what I can buy from them. I want to see what's for sale. What I can buy personally.
We're using Raytheon as a particular example. They in particular manufacture missiles, but like
some guy mugs you in an alley.
Looks like I can't buy anything.
You want to sue the guy who sold them the knife?
No, I would not sue them for the knife. I would.
What's the moral difference?
Question when there's a legal monopoly on violence, in which the state.
The term you're looking for here isn't monopoly. Raytheon are not the only people who are allowed to sell weapons. The term you're looking for is monopsony. The problem is that the government prevents anyone else from buying weapons.
So you don't know what I'm saying. A legal monopoly on violence, which is the state providing defense against foreign threats. Okay, that legal monopoly on violence, which the United States government exercises. Okay, and they manufacture those threats, and they play up those threats through propaganda and marketing. And then they sell those weapons through. So you seem to support the Ukraine war, which is a total fucking scam. It's a whole
I'm not sure what you mean by support the Ukraine war. I think the Russians should withdraw from it.
Okay, yes, that would be the ideal. Is that everybody
it's going to exist? I think the people who should win it should be the Ukrainians. Yeah.
I'd rather the underdogs, but this is none of our business.
It's going to be your business pretty soon.
How?
It's been our business because we've been sending certain gear that requires U.S.
Because we sell weapons to both of them.
well,
yeah, the Russians are currently negotiating with the Taliban to purchase surplus equipment left behind by the U.S. in Afghanistan.
I mean, there's
and so Abrams tanks will arrive in Ukraine on both sides, and I can't wait for the pictures where Ukrainians, Azov battalions can stand in front of our fucking Abrams tanks. That's great.
Okay, so
you think they'll paint them? Like tanks. Honestly, the idea of camouflage for a tank is pretty silly. It's a tank. You're going to see it. What we should do is go back to medieval style barding.
They're very loud machines. You really can't avoid hearing them unless they're completely turned off. And even when they're turned off,
you're not going to see or hear a tank.
The only time you're not going to is miles away. But the thing is that's actually why that
camouflage on a tank is for.
It makes it harder. It also makes it harder to hit said object. Camouflage isn't necessarily, at least for larger vehicles, is to make it harder to notice in the first possible chance, as well as make it harder to hit directly where you want to hit it. AK, you want to hit in the back, you want to hit on a certain angle, you want to hit a certain part of the tank. You have camouflage, it's supposed to kind of break up the shape.
Can we go back 5 seconds, though, and just say the U.S. defense industry is willing to fight the battle in Ukraine to the last Ukrainian. Okay, they are willing to kill every person in Ukraine who can man one of their 10,000, 100,000, or $1 million pieces of defense equipment. They are willing to kill every single one of those persons so that they can make a profit because the U.S. government's buying it for them. They're taking our money at gunpoint here in the U.S. and at the U.K. as well, and sending it to defense contractors who buy the ads or subsidize the slots on all the Sunday shows and or all the other shit that's on TV, and get the average person to support this idea that we're going to free Ukraine from the Russian menace, when in reality Russia is in control of an oligarchy. And that we selected, hand selected. Vladimir Putin was our guy that we installed after the White Tower Revolution, and we
need to bring back the Romanovs. They were the last legitimate leaders.
They were. I agree with you entirely. And here's the deal, though, is that the Russian elite is not going to allow for their border that has no natural barriers between their capital where they live and the rest of the world and NATO to be militarized to the point where there is hundreds of tanks and tens of thousands of their civilians dying on a regular basis from or not their civilians, but their ethnic, linguistic patriarchy or patrimony killed on a regular basis. Like how can we this is a no-win situation for the Russian elite. The oligarchy that runs that country cannot accept defeat on their border. And we're willing to
they will have to accept defeat when they get defeated. Tough titty if they don't want to accept defeat. They're going to be defeated whether they like it or not.
Yeah,
I mean, how many soldiers have the Russians lost at this point, do you think?
Regardless, their military has been...
They lose a lot, but they have a lot in reserve. You know,
well,
we saw that during World War II.
How many did they lose in World War II?
Yeah, exactly. They lost.
How many did they lose in World War I compared to what's going on right now?
Here's the thing:
the Russians are laughing.
They have
at our idea of casualties.
Many people to lose. So many people to lose. They don't care.
It's unfortunate that they think they're cannon fodder, but the reality is that this is Vladimir Putin's the guy in charge of security in Moscow. Okay, and you're saying 300 miles from their border, we're going to have American armed nuclear tipped Patriot missiles.
I don't care if it's 1 centimeter outside their border. It's not their business. I don't care if I'm standing at their border, outside of it, pointing a gun directly at Putin's head. If I'm not inside Russia's borders, it's not his bloody problem.
That is
so
true.
Why is it America's problem?
Because America is the world hegemon. America is the world's empire. America gets.
Well, here's the thing with America:
America is no longer the world's empire.
When you sell,
this is what's happening in the economy right now. We are a failed empire.
Kind of monitor what they're doing with it, you know, in case they turn it around on you, because they're probably gonna. Just a thought.
Here's a question for both of our guests that maybe doesn't get normally discussed outside of our show. How do you feel about American secession? That is 10 states splitting off. What do you feel?
I'm all for it. Let them do it. Let them.
Cybersmith, how do you feel about each state being its own sovereign nation, as guaranteed by the Treaty of Paris in 1783?
Let them all crash and burn.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you would probably stand to lose California. I think Texas used to have its own embassy.
Buy some land in Yuma.
I think a better solution is just to devolve more power. One of the big issues is you need to actually have the Senate do its original job again. Senators are not supposed to be elected. If an individual state says we want to elect our senators, let them do that. But states are not obliged to have. And honestly, I go one further. I think there's a clause, the establishment clause in your constitution. I think you need to get an amendment to get rid of that. If Texas wants to be a monarchy, for example, it should be allowed to do that.
Texas is the only state in the union that is legally allowed to secede.
Yeah, it used to have its own embassy in London.
Without a fight, so I mean, it doesn't matter. It can legally secede, but watch how quick that actually happens.
Every state is legally allowed to secede. That's what entering a voluntary contract means.
Texas has like a special
That's not what entering a
Just
voluntary.
because it's in written ink and
And
paper by the government does not, and I don't mean that like an edgy.
Example.
No, I'm just saying it's like just because it's written in paper does not mean like reality will not set in.
Just because you voluntarily entered a contract, that does not give you the right to voluntarily leave it.
If any
Think about
state
a
in the
loan, for
United
example.
States were going to secede, it would be Texas first because they have like an old, gold grandfathered in right to do so or whatever. So it will be Texas first.
Texas will try first, and then Texas will have a wally-whopping conflict or some weird political nonsense. It'd be like with Catalonia in Spain, where like they'll talk about it for like a month and a half, and nothing will fucking happen, or something will happen, and then everyone's gonna be fucking pissed off because no one's gonna be
Catalonia, like they signed the paperwork.
You gave the case of a loan. Do you think the federal government loaned the land to Wyoming or Montana? How does the federal government have first rights to that land? I'm just curious.
Doesn't matter. The reality of what happens.
No, I'm asking the cybersmith because he's got the other take on it. I know that there's just men's with guns who say that we own the land. That's the reality of the situation.
Greg with the AR-15, babe bop.
Yeah, see how far that'll get you.
It doesn't matter because he's got big swinging dick.
Because I checked Tumblr. There's our my buddy, Arms Not Signs. Apparently can't see the comment section, so he's just replying on Tumblr.
That's just YouTube nonsense because you gotta refresh that shit. I'm using Microsoft Edge. I'm seeing YouTube comments.
But going back to the Raytheon discussion, that Raytheon only sells to the government. So that's the difference. For you, Cybersmith, because I think like you're whoever was. I don't know. I was over here laughing because I thought everything was hilarious as shit. Maybe because I'm drunk because I haven't drank that much in a long time.
Everything got really out of hand. Everyone got really heated, like a fucking microwave.
That was a great discussion. You kidding me? That's the liveliest it's been in a minute.
I've not learned a single fucking thing.
That's okay.
Actually,
success.
You've learned how to say Hague.
Hague.
There you go.
I literally have a brain injury that makes
you
it
are
hard to say
correct on the
things,
grammar.
so
It is
fair enough.
fewer, not less.
No, you're right, but I'm the last person for like the phonetics of it.
I actually want to I'm gonna edit that clip later because it's like the first two things you chose to correct me on were not like factual information. It was just grammatical.
But he got you.
It's like the third thing that Cybersmith was thinking about was legal standing in the United Nations Security Council.
Less racist Max. Maybe if you went to uni, you would know that, but you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't go to
college.
Hi. How you doing?
All right, guys. Well, listen.
My throat's too fucked up for me to do a high voice.
Listen, guys. We are an hour and a half into this fit.
Doesn't matter. This is
the Jew is speaking.
It's a special episode. We can go till 10 p.m. I
would literally whip my penis out here and piss on the camera. Nothing matters anymore.
Just leave.
Just anarchy.
Well, actually, when you leave the chat, you can do a screen cap of all that for me. But
I just felt a pain in my chest. That's not good.
There's gonna be an awkward silence after my joke. Fuck you guys.
I immediately breathed in and immediately felt a pain in my chest. And I had one of my rib cage earlier from one of my cracked ribs, and I'm pretty sure I'm slowly dying.
How did you get a cracked rib?
Cracked rib right now?
Not right now, but I have it healed, but it still sucks sometimes.
I had one once upon a time.
Yeah, it's like I'm like a medical nightmare because I realized I was telling somebody about like my ailments like earlier today. I was like, oh, I should probably be like slowly dying if I haven't.
You should probably be like half robot by now, right?
That'd be a lot better, honestly, because like if they could fix my head, that'd be so great. I'll be honest, that'd be awesome.
They don't know how to do that yet. They don't know how to do that.
No,
you're talking about benign tumors and shit like that. I got removed from my scalp.
I got the lumps. I mean, if I start doing the list, I got the lumps. I have dislocated. I got the monkeypox cancer lumps. I got.
Wait, you got monkeypox?
No, that's whatever. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, that's a joke. Someone make a gay sex joke real
propaganda. Quick. Okay, you can't get sick from.
I don't know what you're up to.
It's completely
not much.
safe to have
funny enough.
Unprotected sex with strangers.
Of course.
That's right-wing
I mean,
propaganda.
you're in New Jersey, you could have anything.
I'm okay. The one thing I'm having is Grimace's fat fucking cunt. So let's get that out of the way.
It's called a grussy, okay?
Yeah, no. Are you correcting me on my Grimace, you motherfucker? You bitch-made punk? Stay in your fucking seat, you $5 motherfucker, before I make change. Don't you test me.
You'll never
Bro,
know
this
the
is
ways
the
of true
SATs,
grussy.
motherfucker.
You would have a bright career at the Waffle House.
That's so funny. I'm in a union. I don't gotta worry about nothing.
Except all those penises you have to suck.
What's up?
Anyways, I forgot what my point is. I think I should probably die by 35, hopefully, God willing, before one of my medical ailments makes my life a living nightmare. Inshallah. Everyone who's Muslim, Catholic, Jewish, Christian, start praying for me right fucking now, dog.
Inshallah.
Fucking pray for my Bish Goodell to stop pissing everywhere. You know what I'm saying? My Pecca Cola is not working like it used to. I'm gonna wake up sober and not want to talk about this episode.
Do I have anything to say?
Let's argue about something new.
Okay,
I got
so
nothing.
Are we done with this, or are we closing it?
I mean,
I don't know.
my attempt to close was overruled.
Cybersmith is like legitimately interested into
But we
like
have more
historical
power.
precedents
Everyone shut the fuck
for
up.
treaties
Ben
and
is Jewish. He's
international
got, like,
sovereignty.
16 votes.
Wow, that doesn't. Hold on.
Okay. So it's up to Ben, because Ben's got things to do. He's running the podcast right now.
Oh no, we can go a little bit longer. I'm cool. I mean, we got time.
Then there it is. We got time.
Dude, it's
Let's
only
go.
8 p.m. Mountain Time. That's where Ben and I are
It is
right now.
9:50 for 3 of us. And
I wake up
Oh,
at
that's true.
5:30, and I'll stay on.
So let's do this. 10 more minutes.
2 o'clock
10
for-
more
1 or
minutes.
2 for Cybersmith.
10 more minutes. Cybersmith and fucking not racist Max talk your shit.
Can I finish my question for Cybersmith?
No.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Were you interested, Mr. Cybersmith?
In what?
Okay, in the treaty
I'm
of
not even half
17...
paying attention to this.
Oh, sorry. Well, okay. The question is, in the Treaty of 1783, in which the King of England, George III, recognized the sovereignty of the United States of America, he actually individually listed each state as a sovereign nation, as a state, that is. Do you recognize the sovereignty of each individual state within the United States of America?
That would only apply to the 13 states he acknowledged, wouldn't it? So ones added after that, like Alaska, they wouldn't be covered by this, would they? So this gets you Maine, I think maybe Virginia, a couple of the older ones.
Well, yeah, it'd be Maine down through South Carolina or Georgia on the east coast. So that is to say that that in a British analysis of the states, that only those 13 original states are sovereign.
And that, I think you could make a fair argument for that, yes. Although I think the broader question is, what is the goal of your sovereignty? Your argument was you didn't like the fact that you were being taxed without representation. But functionally speaking, you're being taxed way more now by your own government, and the degree to which they represent you is questionable.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to secede to tribal sovereignty within Wyoming. I'd like to be governed by the
But
Eastern
why
Shoshone
would
and
that
Arapaho
concern
tribes.
somebody in Britain? Why would you care?
No,
Why
I
would
think
that
an
matter?
outside perspective is important because you want someone who isn't as connected to have an interesting
yeah.
thought that maybe
No,
it's like
that's where
I
I'm
think
going
it's-
for this.
yeah.
And why would we care?
The question is,
Because
there
it's
because
a
there
good
must be an
you want someone
empire.
outside of the it's like having like and I don't mean to discredit Cybersmith in any way, but it's like when he has somebody that like just has no connection to it, say like relationship advice or like family advice or like something like you kind of want somebody who's not emotionally or like any connection to it, but like can kind of think of it in an unbiased way, or at least more unbiased than your own personal experiences. I always think it's always better to have more opinions and more people's thoughts and perspectives because you kind of want to kind of get out of your own head. You're always in, no matter what, you're always in your own perspective. You cannot escape it. You can only try to
Ask him for
understand
his
other
address
people,
and we'll send
and
it.
hopefully can understand other people. And that's why I just want to discredit our boy Cybersmith here, especially because I'm not wearing a shirt and Homeboy's got a bow tie on, which
I can't.
Yeah, I know. It's like, are we on CNN right now, or what's happening?
I can't pull
this
off
is
a
just
bow
what I
tie.
woke. This is just what I woke up in after I.
No. What I'm saying is just
I'm not wearing trousers right now.
That's powerful.
You guys are yin and yang.
My legs are very cold.
Yeah, you ain't got pants. I got no shirt on.
Loving it.
And I'm not wearing a condom. That's beside the point.
Do you ever?
So,
does the bear shit in the woods? Does the Pope fuck kids?
Does the Pope shit in the woods?
Does the Roman Catholic Church question? Does the Roman Catholic Church ignore pedophilia?
I'm just
really does it? I wouldn't say it ignores pedophilia.
They do acknowledge it, but they kind of just move the guys around like.
Yeah,
so that's not ignoring. That's actively concealing it.
Here's another question. I don't know your stance on it. I'm just genuinely curious. Is as cybersmith, as having this historical perspective that you have, what is your view on reconciliation between the Church of England and the Catholic Church of Rome?
Nothing.
They should have let Henry VIII divorce. They didn't. Yeah. This is on them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. As a Roman Catholic, as an Italian-American Roman Catholic, I'll go with that too also. As someone who has no connection historically, emotionally, or anything else, seems pretty reasonable.
Well, actually, so, Mr. Cybersmith, also, what do you feel about the impending Irish reunification of 2024?
It's foretold
if they try it, we will show you exactly how many people can be killed with a submarine.
Ooh.
No part of Ireland is particularly far from the coast. They are all within naval strike distance of naval artillery. Most of their major settlements are coastal settlements.
Okay.
Like, if they try it, they will learn. We will teach them.
By the day, you think the Irish are going to take them again?
Wait. We're pretending. Wait, stop. I mean, as much as the Irish Republic Army can be seen as like beasts, they got funding.
They're onto your tricks.
The IRA hasn't successfully done shit, honestly, frankly, with all the funding from foreign governments.
They couldn't even kill Margaret Thatcher.
They couldn't even kill Margaret Thatcher.
Exactly.
They were given fucking 50 cows, bro.
Most of their funding came from you lot.
No, the CIA has been proven
You're welcome.
to literally give them fucking 50 cal, like Barrett 50 cows.
Yeah, but the
and shit.
CIA is notoriously bad at killing the people we're trying to kill.
Yes, but if you're killing a bunch of fucking...
the FBI has such a better track record.
This is my specialty. The
FBI is so much better at killing people. JFK, MLK.
Pause.
You know, guys, I gotta say, when everybody talks at the same time, it's really fantastic.
I know it's unwatchable as it
It's
should
like
be.
it's like an episode of Always Sunny.
This literally is.
Who would be Dennis? Who would be Frank? Who would be Mac? Let's get that out of the way.
Yimra, I think you would be Dennis. Let's be real.
Is obviously
Mac.
I lost it.
Obviously
Mac.
nothing.
Mac. You're obviously Mac. You're obviously Mac.
Who's
obviously.
Mac?
You.
The back the guy who goes fat and skinny again?
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. 'Cause I'm a little gay.
You do be kind of like respectfully like handsome sometimes.
Nice. We're talking about the CIA. Look at the no-fly list. Osama bin Laden is still on it. What do they know that we don't? Because supposedly that guy's dead. He's still on the list.
Well, his corpse is not allowed to fly.
Oh wait, I have a theory. Is that most likely either he died years ago and they don't want to admit that because that's kind of like awkward. Like he could have died just from like unrelated things, like nothing criminal, nothing violent. He could have just died. Guy was in his fucking 60s by the time that we killed him. Like, he could have died for like just like whatever things, or the raid could have actually happened and he was thrown in the water, but they're not gonna take him off the no-fly list, like just cause like why fuck? Like I'm sure that was more of like a weird error, like.
Dude, I really doubt no governmental person on the fly list was like, oh, we killed Bin Laden, let's get him off that fucking, that thing that obviously, like, that'd be common sense. Man, you know who we should have on this no-fly list? The guy who caused 9/11, technically.
What if he had risen again after the third day? They had to keep him on the list.
I know you're Jewish, but, like, do you want to go straight to hell?
Sure. Bring it on.
They don't have hell. I don't
Okay, okay.
know.
Mm.
Oh, he's gonna find out that hell's real when he dies, and he's
Oh, yeah?
not gonna have a good time. And I
Yeah,
have to
it's
pray over
Phoenix,
him.
Arizona.
I have to pray over him, and I'm already there too, broski. It's gonna be fucked up. It's gonna be like Dante's Inferno. I'm gonna be like Virgil. I'll have to like help him out, like on his little journey through the 9 circles. And I'm gonna be like, "Well, this is the Grimace Pleasure Palace. You can't come in. Sorry. LOL. Goodbye."
But you
And
can't because you're not Beatrice.
I can do whatever the fuck I want in my fantasy here, all right?
Well, all right.
Oh no.
But if you're gonna
I-
be canon about it, no.
There's nothing canon about Dante's Inferno, quite frankly. Let's be honest.
Unless you're a Catholic, which you said you were.
I literally have been baptized, dog. I literally got Archangel Michael tattooed on my chest.
Well, there you go.
It's only, I mean, like the Pope and like the Catholic Church has definitely like vindicated it, but it's still not like the same level of scripture respect as say like fucking like actual scripture. It's just some poet who was like, man,
It's not liturgical as compared to the Gospels.
it's not like Dead Sea, it's not Dead Sea Scrolls type shit. You know what I mean? It's not the Gnostic Scrolls.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's shit faced and everyone's so fucking toxic except for Cybersmith. Thank you for being like very civil, Cybersmith. Everyone else has been an asshole, including me.
I live in Scotland. I'm very used to being. I don't drive.
Oh.
I don't drive. But if I did, I'd be the dedicated driver. Being teetotal in Scotland is an experience.
I'm Scottish, and I am a direct descendant of George III. Where?
You're not Scottish.
Ooh.
Sorry, I guess I'm not Scottish. What makes one Scottish?
Living in Scotland would be a start. I mean, I don't consider myself Scottish, and I've lived here most of my life.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that the way is there genetic or is there an?
I mean, have you ever eaten tablet?
I think there's a social in like sociological.
You ever drunk iron brew?
You're genetically. Cybersmith, would you agree that he's genetically has the precursors of what is Scottish, but culturally is not as connected as, say, an actual Scottish person or anyone who lives
that would be maybe Gaelic, and heck, I've got Scots blood in me, but I don't consider
I got a lot of blood
Scottish.
in me. It's mostly donated from the fucking rehab center.
I think you got to realize as Americans,
So you're
we
a
don't.
real American.
You don't identify as American. You identify as your cultural or as your genealogical heritage.
Yeah, I think that should be that is like a thing that's uniquely American is that we do want to put a lot of respect on the name of like culturally where we come from. It's not saying that we are Scottish by like maybe genetic precursors. In his case, I'm obviously Sicilian, Irish, whatever, other shit. The Sicilian is obvious here. How you doing?
You just car bombs are just in your blood, man.
I really just want to make the first astronaut in fucking Spain. You know what I'm saying, dog? But with America, we have this cultural thing where we do like in the end of the day, like we are American, obviously. I mean, a lot of immigrants will say they're American and they're also whatever country they come from.
Like Americans don't.
I think that's an East Coast thing. Out here in the West.
Well, no, I mean, even if you say like, for example, Danny Trejo is a great example of like an immigrant that's very famous. He identifies as part of Mexican heritage, but he also considers himself an American. He's a legal American. He's done the whole very he has pride for both countries. That's exactly what the standard immigrant. I think everybody can agree is you respect the country and love the country you come from, and also that. But also, say your generation's down. I did the 23andMe. My genetics are all the way over there. I got no Native American. I live here. I'm American. I'm an American with this gene background and certain cultural things from where I am.
You are an American, but ethnically,
I'm gabagool and potato pancake. Not potatoes, not potato pancake.
On the one hand, this conversation seems very new and exciting, but this is not the first time.
That's not an ethnic American unless you're Native American.
Which also, they're mostly a lot of Native Americans have a lot of connections.
There's been a distinct American ethnicity since I'd argue like the Mayflower landings and the Pilgrims.
You could argue this.
It's really hundreds of years.
But it really depends where.
How many other times throughout history do you think there has been just like an Italian twink just with a fascist haircut discussing ethnicities? We think we're doing something new right now. We're just repeating history.
500 BC, goddammit. And you know what? I'm gonna make a better Rome because my Rome is gonna have cocaine and pizza.
So if you consider yourself an Italian American, do you?
I mean, I kind of have to. It's most of my genetic lineage and culture.
When an American calls an Italian a white person, do you take offense to that?
It depends. Northern or Southern Italian?
No, all Italians are white.
Sure, but that's well. Here's the thing. The American discussion about race is not as nuanced as
we need more racist Max on this.
Yeah, we do need it because I know. Like for example, for me, I will talk to people.
You're a spicy white. You're a spicy white.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't consult 23andMe. In the end of the day, as far as the U.S. government and America were concerned, I am white, and that's whatever. I'm not the fucking expert. If I talk to certain people, either in Europe or who are racist, and that's all the shit they're into, I am not white. I'm Sicilian, so Sicilian genetically has a large crossbear with North Africa and Western Asia. Obviously, that the lineage.
So what you're saying is Luke was talking to you.
So what I'm saying is I'm part eggplant, but what I'm saying is the lineage of genetics is so far down the line that it can be argued. Basically, it's been filtered out in a very racist technique. I will say I'm not an expert enough to say that I'm white or whatever, because I feel like that is not my place to say. I don't know the genetic and whatever conversation. That being said, I got 10% shit that ain't white.
Would the Italians even claim you as Italian?
No, but of course they won't claim me as Italians.
One Italian grandparent to get a passport.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is Italy culturally is such a split up place. Like people think of Italy as just this homogenous fucking Lamborghini.
Most people in France didn't speak French until I think it was the late 1800s, early 20th century.
Italy is a very diverse place culturally as well. Because there's the north and the south, and there's a lot of these small little regions because it's a very mountainous place. It's very dispersed culturally as well. So there's that conversation as well. I mean, to be fair, as a meme joke, yes, Americans would consider me white. Racists would not. Italians would still call me some type of Yankee. And then racists in Europe would definitely call me a fucking slur I've never heard of. If that is the point to be made.
On that note, I want to ask, because Cybersmith is interested in monarch-based decrees and legitimacy. If my family had Scots had a warrant of fire and sword against them from the crown, issued from the Crown of England, would you consider that still legitimate here in the United States? That I was some rogue out here?
Well, that depends on what the original warrant did. Did it apply to just your ancestors, or did it specify their descendants?
Let me look here. But you guys can talk about something else for a minute while I look at this. But I am legitimately saying, there was my family was banned from Scotland at a certain point. And that's
You're not a descendant of Shawnee Bean, are you?
Sorry?
Are you one of Shawnee Bean's people?
No, I don't think so.
Can we give a shout out to the Cybersmith for being a fucking trooper? It's
yeah. No, this is also a rough episode, and you're 5 hours ahead of us right now. It's
it's 3 a.m.
3 in the morning.
My sleep schedule is all messed up because I got back at I got back at about 2. I did a phone interview with someone at 3, and then I just kind of crashed between 4 and 5. Dental anesthesia will do that to you. But yeah, Shawnee Bean, are you one of Shawnee Bean's people? I'm posting this in general. On the podcast. Are you one of that?
No, this was during the rebellion of James Moore Stewart against James I of Scotland.
James I. Oh, we're talking very old history then. You could, what I would advise you to do, write to the palace and ask for an annulment on that. They might be willing to consider
You need
that.
to do that.
You know, King Charles might
Actually,
be willing
yeah.
to.
Max, you don't have a choice. You have to do that now.
Do that right fucking now. Get that. I'm not kidding. Do that right fucking now. Literally not right now, but still.
He seems a fairly
not
decent
kidding
guy.
that my family name, like, we were legitimately exiled from the island of Britain. And so, like, I'm asking, like, how can we get back? So I need to write for an annulment of this writ of fire and sword.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa?
Yeah, I think we missed something here.
Buenos días.
So yeah, you should request for an annulment. I mean, honestly, King Charles seems like an all right guy. I'm hoping he'll do another dissolved parliament. You know, he's kept the Charles name. He could have renamed himself upon ascending to the throne. The fact that he's kept the Charles name, I'm hoping he will dissolve parliament at some point.
That would be based.
Be very based of him if he dissolves parliament. But he seems like a forgiving guy.
Okay.
You know, he's
I love this.
He's had to forgive some things from his family. You know, his brother is a nonce. His daughter-in-law had some falling out with his other daughter-in-law. He seems to be the kind of guy who's willing to overlook when not overlook, but move past wrongdoings when people are genuinely sorry. You know, request to have that writ annulled, and I think he'd at least consider it.
Okay, I will do that. Post haste.
I always forget the word nonce until the second I hear it. I'm like, oh yeah, that means fucking creep.
All right. Well, now might be as good time as any.
To do what?
I don't know. Are we still talking about things?
I would say, honestly, we're like 20 minutes over when I said 10 minutes, so we should probably
I
end this
read
soon. We're
20
approaching
minutes.
2
We're like
hours.
40 minutes past, you motherfucker.
That's all right. I don't wanna run you guys past. I can disconnect now if you.
Oh no, you're good, man.
Oh,
No, you're good.
We're here till the finish. You have to listen to Ben
So-
sign off, and then you're free to go.
Exactly. I also never play the intro, but fuck it. But do you guys have any closing comments, like short comments you'd like to make? Any points? Any last minute shenanigans? Anything? Cybersmith, you first.
This podcast formally denounces Vladimir Putin and calls him an illegitimate leader. If you're mad about that, come assassinate us, pussy.
All right.
That's
He might
fair.
be watching. We don't
Whatever.
know.
Vladimir Putin.
Whatever.
Come to my house and fuck me raw. I'll blow your brains out in 2 different ways. He's
Jen, you
homophobic,
got
so
anything?
it works out.
I will not acknowledge any Russian government until we put the Roman
Hold on. Jen, you got anything?
Yeah, I don't care about anything and nothing matters.
Travel to Galarian,
All
get
right.
Anastasia.
Cybersmith, your time's up. My thing is, I know, I'm a father. I've had to do what I had to do. I'll leave it at that.
All right. Max, you got anything?
Yes. Trust in Allah and keep a concealed handgun at all times. Okay.
Word. Stay strapped or get clapped. Yimmer, anything?
Cybersmith said something about Putin coming to kill us. That's fine, as long as we get to fuck him and his wife. Preferably in front of each other.
All right.
Yeah, so.
Perfect.
If I get
You
poisoned
gotta
and
put that on
die,
the Discord.
I'm going to pass on that.
Yeah.
they can have a discourse about me blowing a load all over his chest.
Okay. All right. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for our 100th episode. Cybersmith and Jin, thank you guys for joining us and making this very
Sorry
lively.
for ruining it.
Oh, you
And
didn't
1911,
ruin
don't forget.
anything. We enjoyed your woman moments. Oh, thank you, Luke1911. It's good that you're still out there kicking.
Killing white people.
Killing white people, inshallah. Yes.
Everyone was white and nobody-
Oh, we forgot to
No.
everybody congratulate Matt for having another white child.
Good job, buddy.
Up to 4.
One
One leg.
4-0.
One leg
4-0.
for the table.
Wait, pull out in the sun for a little bit.
All right.
Get 'em baked up a little bit.
Finally have a cook for my army.
Excellent, perfect. All right, everybody. I hope everybody has a good night. And as always,
Yeah.
taxation is theft.